Hello, my name is James Cook and I'm a partner in the private wealth team at Collyer, Bristow. Today I'm going to talk about the importance of reviewing your will. During both normal and these unprecedented times, an off-state will remains an effective way to divide assets and provide for those close to us beyond our lifetimes. For example, a will allows you to nominate guardians for minor children, provide for unmarried partners, and specify how your estate is to be divided on your death. A carefully prepared will can mitigate against tax and also provides complex wealth structures for future generations. Of course, preparing a will is the first step, but you must also keep your will under review, and we recommend that wills are reviewed every 3 to 5 years, although it may be sooner if certain life events come forward. A will should be reviewed to ensure that it remains effective for inheritance tax purposes, suitable for the personal circumstances of the testator and beneficiaries, and generally fit for purpose. Changes in the law can alter the way an individual's status is taxed on death, either by virtue of the applicable rates of tax or with the use of exemptions and tax reliefs. You may be wondering at what point you should review your will. So we've identified a few clear trigger points. Firstly, with marriage and divorce. A marriage will automatically revoke a will. In contrary, a divorce treats the ex-spouse as being effectively deceased for the purposes of interpreting the will. Therefore, in either scenario, it may produce an unfavourable outcome, either as a result of the intestate rules or because the will no longer reflects the testator's wishes. So if you are getting married or recently divorced, it is essential to review your will. The birth of a child or grandchild is also a reason to review your will. Make sure that there's adequate provision to ensure that your estate is divided to them in some way and protected, maybe in the form of a trust. You can also appoint a guardian to ensure that funds are looked after for your child following your demise. So selling the business is a major lifetime liquidity event, and your will should be reviewed to ensure that the proceeds are protected and distributed in accordance with your wishes. Also, if you own a business or are going to acquire a business in the near future, then you should be thinking about the succession of your business. Who's going to take over your business following your death? And also, does your will contain adequate provision to ensure that the business can be run in the interim, so between your death and between a distribution to your beneficiaries? The death of a child or of a loved one or anyone mentioned in your will, such as an executor, would also be a key reason to review your will and make any amendments as appropriate. The acquisition of foreign assets is certainly a reason to review your will, particularly when considering the scope and the jurisdiction that your will covers. As well as considering your own circumstances, you should also be considering the circumstances of your beneficiaries. If a beneficiary is vulnerable, susceptible to undue influence, or going through a divorce, then the will should contain appropriate safeguarding provisions. For example, if you have a disabled beneficiary who's in receipt of means-tested benefits, or a beneficiary who has gambling or substance addiction issues, then it would not be in their best interest to advance them large sums of capital, and therefore maybe a use of a discretionary trust would be appropriate. These are only some of the trigger points at which you should consider reviewing your will. At Collyer Bristow, we recognise the importance of preparing, tailoring and regularly reviewing our clients' wills to ensure that they are effective, suitable and fit for purpose. As well as writing wills using our CB and Trust Will service, we are delighted to offer a will review service in respect of all wills which are prepared by Collyer Bristow, another firm or even homemade. Our wills review service includes reviewing a will and any accompanying documents such as letters of wishes, providing a brief synopsis of the main terms and providing comments as to how your will could be improved. We of course do not suggest any amendments to your will unless they are warranted, and any amendments to be made, we would suggest the most cost-effective way of doing so. So this may be in the form of a preparation of a new will or a codicil. If you have any questions regarding our will review service, then please do not hesitate to contact me or one of my colleagues for more information.